Bonjour tout le monde. We are going to look today at our Write and Discuss for our Personne Spéciale numéro 3. We did a interview with our Personne Spéciale yesterday. That would have been Wednesday, September 30th, during our Google Meet, although only about a third-ish of you were there, so I unfortunately did not record the meet. I meant to and then forgot. So I'm going to do my best to recreate the interview with our Personne Spéciale to a certain extent, and then we're going to do our Write and Discuss together. So this will get you caught up with what you need to have in your notebook. Okay, pour la Personne Spéciale. La Personne Spéciale, it's something we're going to do all year. We're going to be adding personal questions as the year goes on. So for right now, we have Tu t'appelles comment? Je m'appelle. Il s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. Tu préfères blank ou un autre nom? So that's when we're asking somebody if they prefer their given name or a nickname. And you're in the interview that I did yesterday, it was with Allyssa. So I asked, Tu préfères Allyssa ou un autre nom? Par exemple, Tu préfères Allyssa ou Ally? And she answered, Je préfère Ally. So then I could tell the class, Elle préfère Ally. Et tu es en quelle année? Tu es en quelle année? Je suis en année 8, 9, 10, 11 ou 12. One of those is going to be the case for you. For Allyssa, she said, Je suis en année 8. En année 8. Okay, moving on. We have a few more questions for our Personne Spéciale. Où est-ce que tu habites? So we're using one of our question words here. Où, and remember, est-ce que just shows we're asking a question. Où est-ce que tu habites? For most of you, j'habite à Les Summit. And then if we're talking about you, il habite à Les Summit. Elle habite à Les Summit. Et comment es-tu? Comment es-tu? Physically or personality-wise. Je suis brune. Brune. When we are using these adjectives for hair color, that's the only one we're going to look at for now. We need to make sure that if we're talking about ourselves and we're a guy, we use the masculine form of this describing word, this adjective. So a guy would say, Je suis brun. Je suis brun. For a girl, you would add on the E at the end. Je suis brune. Brun, masculin, brune, féminin. Blond, masculin, blonde, féminin. So all we do when we add that E at the end, it makes us hear that last consonant, which we didn't hear in the masculine form. Here we just hear kind of a nasally sound, brun, and then here, blond, we also hear nasally sound. We don't hear the N or the D until we put the E on, brune, blonde. And then we have roux et rousse. Roux, masculin, rousse, féminin. Obviously for redheads, it just so happens that this adjective does something different than just adding E to make it féminin. So just know that for now, there's no real explanation there that you need. Okay. Alors, when you're talking about your hair color, we're only going to talk about hair colors that you can use to call somebody that hair color, like she is brunette or he is blonde for now. Later on, we'll learn how to say he has a certain color of hair, and that's going to give us more options for hair color. So for now, je suis brune. And when I asked Allyssa that question, I asked, Comment es-tu? And she answered me, Je suis brune. Je suis brune. Et j'ai les yeux. J'ai les yeux. J'ai les yeux bruns. J'ai les yeux bleus. J'ai les yeux verts. We're going to stick to just those three basic colors for now. Now here, you're not describing a person, you're describing eyes, les yeux. And since there's always two of them, we're going to put an S at the end of that adjective. So, j'ai les yeux bruns. J'ai les yeux bleus. J'ai les yeux verts. We see the S, we don't hear it. Okay? Bon. Alors, pour la personne spéciale. This is one of your write and discuss. So you need to put it in le cahier, your notebook. And remember, these go at the back. And if you could, skip every other line so that we can do some translation with it. That will be a good exercise. So skip every other line. If you forget to do that, then you can always just do a paragraph that we're writing here and then translate the paragraph underneath, but it's easier to put it into smaller pieces. Okay, so like I said, we did this yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and put yesterday's date. Aujourd'hui, c'est mercredi, le 30 septembre. Mercredi, lundi, mardi, mercredi. Mercredi, ça veut dire Wednesday. Le 30 septembre. Et la personne spéciale s'appelle Allyssa. Okay, la personne spéciale s'appelle Allyssa. So then I asked Allyssa some questions. First I asked her, tu t'appelles comment? Tu t'appelles comment? And she answered me, je m'appelle Allyssa. So now when I'm talking about her, elle s'appelle Allyssa. Elle s'appelle Allyssa. Okay. Elle préfère Allyssa. Elle ne préfère pas Ally. So I asked her, Allyssa, est-ce que tu préfères Allyssa ou Ally? Allyssa ou un autre nom, Ally. And she answered me, je préfère Allyssa. So that means that when we're talking about her, we need to write elle préfère Allyssa. Elle ne préfère pas Ally. Elle préfère Allyssa. Elle ne préfère pas Ally. Okay. Elle est en année Reet. Elle est en année Reet. So I asked her, Allyssa, tu es en quelle année? And she answered, je suis en année Reet. So when we're talking about her, elle est en année Reet. And then I asked her, où est-ce que tu habites? And she answered, j'habite à les Summit. Alors, when we're talking about her, elle habite à les Summit. And then to get a little more practice with the structure habite, the word habite, we're going to say where she doesn't live. Alors, elle habite à les Summit. So what if I were to ask her, Allyssa, est-ce que tu habites à Boston? She would tell me, no, je n'habite pas à Boston. Okay, elle habite à les Summit. Elle n'habite pas à Boston. Okay, last question. Comment es-tu? Comment es-tu, Allyssa? And she answered, je suis brune. Je suis brune. So when I talk about her, I need to say elle est brune. Elle a les yeux. Okay, so I asked her, comment es-tu? She told me about her hair and her eyes. So she said, je suis brune. J'ai les yeux bruns. Je suis brune. J'ai les yeux bruns. When we're talking about her, Elle est brune. Elle a les yeux bruns. And that is it. Okay, so make sure that you have this. This should be underneath your Talking Tiger story in your Write and Discuss section at the back of your notebook. Au revoir tout le monde!